Let me ask you something. If you keep doing exactly what most people are doing, making the same choices, following the same advice, chasing the same idea of security, what makes you think your life will turn out any differently? There's a quote I really wish I had understood much earlier. If you don't want to live like the majority, you have to accept the trade-offs the majority avoids. And in this video, I want to show you exactly what those trade-offs are. 1. Stop blaming anyone or anything for your situation. We all have a built-in psychological defense mechanism, blame. It works like a painkiller for the mind. The moment you use it, you feel relief. You're late for an important meeting? Traffic was insane. Some guy cut me off. You lose a great deal? The client just didn't like me. A project fails? The market changed. The team wasn't good enough. My boss didn't support me. But that temporary relief comes at a very high cost. Blaming others is really just another way of giving your power away. If anyone can easily upset you, trigger you, or make you react emotionally, then they're in control, not you. And when that happens, you're not going to be able to manipulate the situation the way you need to get the results you want. You end up like a leaf floating downstream, passive, frustrated, constantly complaining about the journey. So here's the trade-off you have to accept. You have to accept that you are responsible for your life. Not everything that happens to you is your fault, but 100% of how you respond, how you interpret it, and what you do next is on you. Instead of saying, I was late because of traffic, try saying, I didn't leave enough buffer time. Next time, I'll leave 30 minutes earlier. Instead of saying, the client didn't like me, ask, what could I have done better in that meeting to build trust? The moment you do this, you stop being a victim and become a builder. Win or lose, it all starts with your choices. 2. Don't follow every piece of advice. It feels like everyone has an opinion about what you should do with your life. Some people say, you need a master's degree. Others say, no, you should start a business as early as possible. Another group says, get into crypto. That's the future. Your parents say, just find a stable 9-to-5 job at a big company. Your friends say, buy a house, get married, settle down. All of this is what we call inputs. And here's the problem. When you take in too many inputs, you freeze. It's like standing at a huge intersection with 10 different roads in front of you, and every road looks promising. What do most people do in that situation? They don't move at all. Listening to advice doesn't make you poor. But listening to everyone's advice, without committing to any one path, without paying the cost of a real choice, that's what keeps you stuck in hesitation forever. So what's the solution? What's the trade-off here? You can't walk every path. You have to choose one. If there's already a clear goal, this part is simple. But for many people, the direction isn't obvious yet. And if you don't know where you're going, then honestly, every road looks the same. So ask yourself this, honestly, 5 years from now, what do I actually want my life to look like? Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's building a small business of your own. Maybe it's becoming truly exceptional in your field. Once you have a destination, filtering advice becomes much easier. You start cutting down the noise. Because quality matters more than quantity. 1 hour of guidance from someone who has actually walked the path you want to walk is worth more than 100 hours of generic opinions from people who never even started. Look for builders. Look for people who've built businesses. Look for people who've achieved financial freedom, the kind you want. This is a hard trade-off because it forces you to say no to a lot of tempting ideas. But only by saying no to many things can you give your full focus, energy, and attention to the one thing that truly matters. 3. Don't chase short-term stability. Society teaches us to make money as early as possible and to choose the most stable job we can find. When a young person, or even someone in their 30s, is choosing a job, most people ask the same 2 questions. How much does it pay? Is it stable? Very few people ask a different question. Will this job make me more valuable 5 years from now? And that question matters more than most people realize. because in personal finance and career growth there's a rule. Early stability and decent pay often come at the cost of much lower long-term income. Let's imagine two career paths, Path A and Path B. Path A is the common one. Right after graduation, a person lands a boring job, but the pay is decent and stable. Raises come steadily, around 5 to 7% a year. There's respect, a nice title, and approval from family. But look closer. Skills grow very slowly, because the work stays narrow and repetitive. Income does increase, but in a straight line. And sooner or later, it hits a ceiling, the maximum pay that role can offer. Now consider Path B. Path B means accepting lower pay at the beginning. It might involve working in a fast-learning environment, learning directly from a strong mentor, or joining an early-stage startup. The work is harder, the pressure is higher. From the outside, it can even look like a poor decision, but skills on Path B compound quickly. Over 5 to 10 years, income growth shifts from linear to exponential, and eventually pulls far ahead of Path A. So what's the trade-off here? It's patience, it's long-term thinking, it's accepting lower pay and less recognition in the early years. But in return, you gain control, you gain leverage, and most importantly, you give your career the ability to compound. Fourth, don't let your ego block collaboration. We often look at people like Elon Musk and think he's a once-in-a-generation individual who built everything on his own. But that's not really how it happened. Yes, Elon Musk is brilliant. But his success was never the result of one person working alone. PayPal, for example, was created from the merger of X.com and Confinity. In 2002, PayPal went public and was acquired by eBay for around $1.5 billion. After that exit, the founders and early leaders invested in each other and went on to build new companies together. Elon Musk built SpaceX and Tesla. Reid Hoffman built LinkedIn. Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Jord Karim built YouTube. Jeremy Stoppelman and Russell Simmons built Yelp 1.1. Do you see the pattern? Great success doesn't come from a single genius working alone. It comes from an ecosystem, a network of talented people who trust each other, support each other, and invest in each other. And that's the trade-off here. You have to lower your ego, accept that you don't know everything, and actively seek collaboration. No one builds something meaningful alone. Find mentors who are ahead of you and learn from them. Find peers who can grow with you, and find people behind you whom you can help. That's how you turn individual talent into something lasting. 4 real trade-offs. Taking responsibility instead of blaming others. Choosing one clear direction instead of chasing many. Building long-term value instead of running after short-term paychecks. And collaborating instead of trying to do everything alone. These aren't easy choices. Every single one of them requires courage, patience, and discipline. And that's exactly why most people avoid them. But if you want a different kind of life, a life you design on purpose, not one you fall into by default, then this is the price. And honestly, it's a price worth paying. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe so we can keep sharing ideas that help you build a stronger, freer life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.